I'm Christina Saley, and I'm a positive discipline parent educator and a parenting coach. I've been facilitating parenting classes in the area for 8 years now and working as a behavior specialist in the school district, working with teachers and parents for 7 years now. I decided to put together some videos on different parenting tools that would be helpful for you. So 2 things I want to talk to today is kind of a little bit about our brain and what happens during the stress response, and then a tool called Positive Timeout, which is great for calming yourself down. So the first one is based on a model, the work of Dan Siegal, who's written many wonderful parenting books as The Whole Child, Brainstorm, The Yes Brain. We definitely check out his work. So this model that I'm about to demonstrate was created by him, and it looks like this. So this hand, our fist, is a model of our brain. And if we first open up here, this space here from our wrist to our hand is our brain stem. Now the brain stem is responsible for all our automatic functions, like our heartbeat, breathing, and most importantly, our freeze, fight, or flight response. Next, we have the midbrain. So if you put your thumb over here, that's the midbrain. And this is where the amygdala lies, the limbic system. This is where all of our emotions are stored, and our memories based on beliefs that we've formed about ourselves is all formed here. Then when we put our hands over, our fingers over, this is the cortex. And the very tip here, our fingertips, is the prefrontal cortex. Our prefrontal cortex is responsible for executive functioning, our decision making, our self-regulation, organization, problem solving. That all lies in the prefrontal cortex. And this part of the brain is not fully developed until we're 25. So what happens when we experience a stress response or we get really upset? We flip our lid. And when we're in this state, with our lid being flipped, we no longer have access to our prefrontal cortex, our rational thinking, our problem solving. And all that is exposed here is our big emotions. And another thing that happens is a thing called mirror neurons. So when we have a flip lid and we come in contact with our children and they see us having a flip lid, then they flip their lid. And the same goes the other ways. Our kids can come approach us with a flip lid, and then next thing you know, we flip our lid. And so this is what happens when we get stressed out or overwhelmed. And this is not a good time for problem solving. This is not a good time for brainstorming solutions. We need to get back to our fully engaged brains before we can come up with solutions. And how we do that is, one way that we do that is through a calm down space or a positive timeout corner. This is something that you can create with your children in your homes, a place to go to so that they can calm down. So next I would like to read you a book that beautifully demonstrates how to create a positive timeout space. And this book is called Jared's Cool Out Space. It is written by Jane Nelson and illustrated by Bill Score. If you hear this book and like it and are interested in buying it, you can purchase it at positivediscipline.com. Wham! The back door swung open and Jared stormed in with a scowl on his face. Hello, Jared. Jared slammed the door as hard as he could. Crash! I can see that you're very upset. Do you want to talk about it? No, yelled Jared as he kicked the kitchen table. Ouch! cried Jared. Finally, Jared ran into Mommy's outstretched arms and cried while she held him. Soon Jared stopped crying and took 2 deep breaths the way Mommy had taught him. Jared told Mommy how he tripped and broke the clay bowl he made for Daddy's birthday. I'm sorry, Jared. You were so proud of that. You must be feeling very sad about breaking it. I am sad, and I'm mad. It's okay to feel sad and mad. It's not okay to hurt yourself or the table. You remembered to take deep breaths. What else can you do to calm down when you're upset? I don't know, Jared says sadly. I have an idea. Want to hear it? Okay, Jared said. Mommy usually had good ideas. If you could create a special place to help you calm down, what would that place look like? Jared closed his eyes and thought. I know, he shouted. Outer space. It would be dark and have lots of shining stars and big colorful planets and a giant spaceship for me to ride in. That sounds like a great idea. What will you call your special place? I'll call it Jared's Cool Out Space because it will be like outer space and will help me cool out. Okay, said Mommy. Let's find a place in your room where we can create your special place. Jared pointed to a corner in his room and they found everything they needed to create his cool out space. Mommy painted the wall black. Jared cut out stars to tape to the wall. They painted styrofoam balls to look like planets and hung them from the ceiling. Finally, Jared painted a box to look like a spaceship and climbed in with a happy grin on his face. Mommy asked, how are you feeling in your cool out space? Jared said, I feel happy here. Mommy smiled. Now are you ready to create a new gift for Daddy's birthday? A few hours later, gulp, he just spilled paint all over his painting. Grrr. Jared was angry. He felt his face get hot, his teeth clench, and his heart race. He wanted to throw his paint and rip up his paper. Then he remembered his cool-out space and ran to his bedroom as fast as he could. He sat under the stars and planets. Jared forgot he was in his bedroom. Soon he thought, my face isn't so hot anymore. My heart has stopped racing. Jared felt his anger drift into space. He was cooling down. Jared was so excited. Mommy, my cool-out space really worked. I can see that it did, Mommy said. Now you know what to do to take care of yourself when you feel angry or upset. Yeah, said Jared, and now I know what to make for Daddy's birthday. What? Mommy asked. His own cool-out space. So I just love this book. It really demonstrates how to positively respond to our children when they have big emotions. That feelings are okay, but how we respond by destroying property or stomping and hurting someone or yourself is not okay. And what we can do to calm down, to teach our children the skills that they need to self-regulate. So that's what I love about this book. And actually, you could probably have your children watch this video as I read it and get some ideas as well. So really what I want to communicate is, like this book demonstrates, the most important thing about having a positive timeout space or a calm down corner or calm down space is that you have your children create that space. You have them come up with a name, a place in their room that they want the space. And I'm not saying you have to paint your walls black. That's is a little extreme, but just really let them make it their own. And also what's not in the book is having them compile some supplies that can help them. Like one thing that they could keep in their calm down space is a sphere like this. Another thing is making at home a glitter jar, making a squishy ball, maybe some coloring books and colors, or some headphones for listening to music. Let them decide what would be helpful for them to help them calm down and keep that in their new space. And also, again, letting them name the space and what goes in the space. And when this space is created, talk to them about how to use it and what they can do in that space to calm down. One thing you definitely do not want to do is when they get upset, ordering them to go to their calm down space, because this is not a punitive timeout. This is a positive space to calm down. So instead of ordering them to go to their space, you can first say to them, wow, it looks like you're really upset. Would it be helpful for you to go to your positive timeout space? And if they say no, then say, okay, well, how about if I go with you? And if they still refuse, then you can say, well, that's okay. I think I need to calm down, so I'm going to go to my positive timeout space. Yes, it is just as important for us adults to have our own space where we can go to calm down and to role model that for our children. So I hope you found this helpful. I would like to ask you to join me again next week for another video on another parenting tool. And until then, please friend my business page on Facebook, Empowered Parenting Solutions. Thank you.